about people, but they hate reading about themselves. And it's virtually impossible to put yourself in that situation, as I say, because it happened to me in just a tiny way, and I just backed off and thought, I don't want anything to do with this, and I know I should use social media more, and I just don't. Because, you know, you'd hear there'd be a negative story, and you didn't read it. You say, well, don't read the papers, or don't do that. But friends ring you up and say, have you seen this in the mail today, what they're saying about you? And you go, no. It's like asking an actor, you know, have you read this review? I don't read reviews. Most actors, certainly that I know, and I'm sure the majority of them, probably don't read the reviews, because they just, you know, the pain's too bad when it's bad, and you probably go far too far. You know, and what's Kipling's poem, treating triumph and disaster, those twin imposters? I know that's a cliche, but it is true. You know, don't get too excited about the good news and don't get too down. But I think when you're in the media spotlight, you get an absolute total focus on yourself, and it becomes self-obsessive. When I used to work at Sky Sports News, Robbie Williams he said once in an interview, because what we did, you'd do each hour, and then you'd get to midnight, and you'd record 11 till midnight, and hopefully you didn't go wrong. Then you'd play that same hour out from midnight till 6 a.m. when we went live again. And Robbie Williams used to say, I spend all night reading stories of myself while I was, you know, taking all sorts of, because I was too out of it to realise. And he said, but I just spent my whole time self-obsessing, just Googling himself all night. Therein, madness rules. Let's go to Emma, who's in Thanet in Kent. What can we learn from this tragedy, Emma?
Yeah, hi, I've been listening to this pretty much when I found out yesterday. And I remember when, I think it was before Christmas, and it all come out, sort of all broke out about this assault. And I don't understand why it was all put in the newspaper. I thought you wasn't allowed to talk about a court, you know, court stuff that's going to go to court. I don't understand why it was all put out. I'm not going to say the paper, but it was a trashy paper, do you know what I mean? And like what they were saying about her, and it was the language that they were using about her.
But they would say, the people that wrote that would say, well, we're only writing it because people like you read it.
No, but why? I bought it because I've been through experience of I've got taken to court for assault that I didn't do, and I wanted to see, I was interested in the language that they were using, because what the language was used around me, and it was exactly the same language.
Can you give me an example?
Manipulative, calculated lady, that kind of stuff, do you know what I mean?
And did the person that you were alleged to have assaulted press charges?
Yeah, I was arrested, I was assaulted, but however the other person said that I self-defend myself, and I was basically arrested, even though I reported in the assault, I was arrested, and...
you reported the assault and you got arrested?
Yeah, a week later I got arrested, yeah. And in court they said that I got my story in first. Right.
Yeah, presumably you were found innocent, were you? Not guilty?
No, the charges when I got arrested for ABH.
Yeah.
And then went down to assault and battery with an offensive weapon. Right. And then it went down to assault and battery, so there wasn't an offensive weapon.
Okay, so you were found guilty of that?
And the only photo of an injury was that a size of a 10-pence piece, and it was a greeny yellowy colour on that person, and it could have been on anyone because it was just a close-up shot. But
they found you guilty, did they, of assault?
They found me guilty, yeah, but yeah. And I didn't do it.
Fine, okay, well, it's difficult to talk about specific instances, but generally...
Can I just say, is that the whole process, right, because I'm really bad at articulating my side story. What I wanted to say, going back to Caroline, the whole process, the court business, like you go to court, first of all, because this is all new to me, you go to court and you say, like, what you're pleading and what court you want to go around and all that.
What's your name? Yeah.
It's the most scariest thing and the most stressful thing, do you know what I mean? And all that lot. And then you feel so isolated You know, you feel really isolated and all this stuff is going through your head and all that lot. And then it's not like you got your court date the next day. You've got, like, I was waiting, like, another 5 months.
But this was the strange thing. I'm seeing pictures now of when she appeared in court, and the irony is that she was being helped out, of course, and protected from all the crowds by the police.
Yeah.
And it was like, what?
Yeah.
I know.
But, and also, like, I looked on the internet, and I'm only doing it because of the interest of, like, how, not because it's just my own pure interest, is because, like, how they're treating a woman as well. I noticed that it seems going hard for a woman if it's like a woman case of assault, you know what I mean?
Right.
And then they've got pictures of her because she's with some friends and she's smiling, and they're turning that into something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I would love Emma to get into the whole CPS thing. Unfortunately, I don't think it's wise at the moment, just for you know, decorum and also legal reasons. So we're not going to get into it. But I think there's a lot going on here that needn't have. That's all I'm going to say. When we come back, I shall be speaking to someone whose son is an influencer with 1 million people following him on YouTube. It's 18 minutes past